I was hired into the bank because of my gender. There was absolutely no doubt that I was offered the opportunity to join the bank as a trainee in the trading floor because I was a woman. There were 20 of us that were hired as trainees in that year. 18 of us were women. That didn't mean that I was any less qualified to do the job. Gender for me has offered opportunities and has presented challenges. Being able, for example, to turn the fact that my being in a meeting as a non-threatening presence gave me permission to express my view, to say things as they are, to be more blunt, and in a way, maybe because they were males, were considered more threatening and therefore had to be more careful in what it is they could say. I think the visibility of being a woman as I was rising through the ranks has given me the opportunity to shine in a more public way and to be given opportunities not just in being hired into the firm, but I would say in being promoted as well. At the same time, being a female has meant overcoming various challenges, including stereotypes about my willingness to travel, my willingness to stay late. It has meant being able to create trust and intimacy despite a certain awkwardness in getting there. It is more difficult, it was more difficult as a woman, as a young woman, to create informal situations, whether it was going out for drinks or whether it was allowing a senior manager to talk about his golf game. All those were impediments to creating a more informal relationship, which I think is crucial in trust. And trust is obviously a very important element in being given the opportunity to do more things in an organization. So the confidence to be myself, even though you are different than everybody else. The confidence to bring up issues, to talk openly about gender issues, about what is it that makes it different for me to function in the organization because I am the one woman in the room. In fact, one of the most effective ways of conveying to men the situation is to bring them to meetings that are only women in the room and having the feeling of being the one man in the room. It is not enough to hire women and minorities to change the status quo. There is really the need for the organization and for the management in the organization to change in order to retain the women and minorities that are being hired. And the organizational changes range all the way from changing what are standards of behavior, what is acceptable behavior in the company. There was a need to be willing to change work terms. The introduction of flexible hours, again, is an influence that I believe women have brought into the work environment, and it was essential for that to happen. You can introduce flexible hours, but unless you legitimize it, women will not use it. I would say measurement and accountability of the progress you make towards goals of inclusion is an essential element in organizational change. And then finally, it is the personal commitment of senior management to act different that makes things happen.